Good morning. Oh, we've got a nice full house today. Good to see everybody. All right, let's see. Let me put on the participants. I want to see who's here so I can say hi. Hi, Abby, Andrea, Jane, Jen, Judy, all in alphabetical order. Kathleen, Kelly, Patty, Sue, and Vanessa. Good to see everybody. Hi. All right, so today I'm pretty excited because it's time to get back to work a little bit, right? Chat box is on. Oh, superstar, that would be me. Well, let's be real. I'll tell you about the story here just for a second, but you know, anytime you have the opportunity to race, it's a good time. So I'm so thankful for that. And it's a race at Lava Man in Hawaii that I'm pretty familiar with. So, you know, I knew what I was in for when I started heading that way to race Lava Man. And I think it's a great way to start the year. But was it my best day? No, but it was good enough to win an age group. You know, I actually, for those of you that are here and you're my people, I'll be real honest. I was named the winner of the age group, but Kathy Winkler, who is a good friend and in my age group, is so fast and so good that she actually was put into the elite category and came third female overall. So the bar has always been high with Kathy and something that I've always aspired to. She's a beautiful runner, but generally speaking, she's a very, very good triathlete. She'll come out of the water 2 to 4 minutes ahead of me, and I'm solid swimmer. I'm not a great swimmer. Her cycling was right on point and super strong this year. Maybe I'd have gotten within a minute of her off the bike, but she had already put a couple minutes into me on the swim. And then she just runs like the wind, and she's running well. And I'm also really proud to say she's part of the ECFIT community. She's doing Mobility Monday. She follows a lot of the principles that I train with. So it's really an honor to see and feel and be part of somebody's progress, even if they beat you on race day. But that's the kind of stuff that keeps us going, you know? So it was a good day and I'm very proud of it, but now I have 22 weeks until my next race. So I'm going to be really able to focus on my health overall and getting stronger and becoming a better version of myself. And that's what I hope to always kind of impart on you guys as part of the group that we're all in together. So we want to be the best version of ourselves. So today's session is about bringing in some balance, just double checking that we're staying balanced with our hips, and also the adductors, abductors. So adductors are on the inner part of the thigh, and it comprises of like anywhere from 4 to 7 different muscles. And then the abductors are on the outside of the hip. So inside of the hip, outside of the hip. And then as usual, we always want to work the upper body as well. Posturally, that's something we want to maintain an incredible amount of integrity and strength with. So let's start with our foam roller, guys, here. This is going to be a combination, kind of a hybrid session of launch, which is mobility, skill development, some endurance, some strength endurance. But also I want to go a little bit heavy today with a couple of lifts, but only a couple of our key lifts will we go heavy. And that's why I make it a hybrid into a climb session. Okay, so let's start with just a nice, easy, bring that knee up to the height of the hip. And we're just going to work through the adductors. Keep that foot up off the ground. Don't let it drop, because as soon as it drops, you go into external rotation. So a little bit of tension. You can go TV time with the upper body. I'm definitely still a little spicy on the inner thigh, which makes me happy because that means that muscle group really worked. I went pretty hard on the bike. I'm super proud of how I was able to perform. I just know I can be better. So, all right, just work that foam roller all the way up next to that pubic ramus. Be gentle up in there. The pubic ramus is the part of the pelvis that goes right between the legs. And so that is a bony structure up in there, part of the pelvis, and a lot of our adductors attach to the pubic ramus. So don't be afraid to go all the way up next to the pubic bone, next to that pubic ramus, and then back down into the belly of the muscle. Mitigate how much pressure you put onto the belly of the muscle so that it doesn't really come back to bite you. And then right down by the knee. Once we get down by the knee, we're just going to go ahead and internally rotate through the hip by lifting the foot. So just lift the foot, and that gives you that beautiful hip function, and lift the foot. All right, good. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So we're just going to go, knee comes to the height of the hip, keep the foot up. We're just going to rotate. We're just going to work that foam roller through the adductors. And if you've been running or riding a lot and this is spicy, just take note of that. It just means you want to it's a good thing. It means you're using those muscles. Oh, it takes so much longer to recover when you're not 25 years old. All right, Deacon, go lay down. Good boy. Deacon says hi. He loves the group. We're just going to work that foam roller all the way up by the pubic ramus, all the way up by the pubic bone. Take it back into the belly. And then we'll go a little bit of TV time here. And then get that foam roller down by the knee. That muscle right down by the knee is called the VMO, the vastus medialis orbitus or obliquus. And we're just going to move. And I'm a little herky-jerky on this one, which shows the nerve impulse in internal rotation isn't as smooth. My left side is definitely different from my right. So we just want to work into that, and that's good. Okay, next thing you want to do is just go ahead and stand up. We want to work into, we're going to do an archer and a reverse archer from foundation training. So we'll go split stance. I've got kind of a comfortable long stance. So kind of join me there. We're going to float the back heel. From right there, all we're going to do is hands on hips and we're going to rotate that back hip across the front hip very gently, the back hip coming into the midline. Now, when that happens, I want your lead leg, make sure everybody's got their right foot in front of left. I want you to push into your big toe on your right leg. So left hip across into the midline, right big toe pressing in. So we're just kind of getting this internal rotation movement. So there's a little bit of forward lean there. Let's go 10 of those. 1, 2, keep your head nice and tall. 3, 4, 5, 6, keep going. 7, pillar strong with that lead leg. 8, 9, one more, and 10. Same thing other side, right? Little bit of forward lean, take a little peek over the cliff. Your nose might be about 6 inches in front of that left big toe. Okay, back side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, good, and 10. Right on. So we call that a little bit of internal hip rotation. We call it kind of a level 1 because the hands are back on the hips and we're just rotating across. As we start to add the weight of the arms, that's when we start to get a little bit more intense. So level 2 will be, let's go in that same position, take that back hip, rotate it across, but then add the reach of the arms. So now we're getting a lot more intensity into that right hip. So we're just going to rotate across and reach. 2, don't reach way over here. Reach way in front. 3, 4, pillar strong on the right side. 5, start to move through that upper body. 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, 1 more, and 10. So just adding a little bit of load to the front of the body starts to light up and activate the backside of the body. Okay, peek over the cliff, really set that left leg strong. We're going to rotate across and then reach that arm out in front and then come back. So we're moving through that thoracic spine. 1, come back. 2, come back. Back hip rotating through. 3, 4. Back hip rotating in and then the arm. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're just feeding those tissues a bunch of tension. Okay, let's go right leg in front of left. Now we're going to go ahead and float the hands to the height of the heart. Everybody with me? Right leg is in front of left. Left thumb into right palm. This hip is going to open. And when that happens, we're also going to keep that right hand nice and in front, back elbow nice and high. First thing that moves coming back is the hip and the arm follows. Okay. So from right there, we're going to do the archer. It's like pulling back the bow, open up the hip, close the hip. 2, 3, take a nice big breath, decompress. 4, 5, good, let's go one more here. And 6, so we've got the whole body open and then the whole body closes. All right, good. So we want that beautiful hip function. This is going to give us access to the muscles. So the mobility is worth it for access, right? Okay, same thing, left leg in front of right, float the hands to the height of the heart. From right there, let's go right thumb into left palm. First movement is going to be the hip. Second movement is going to be the elbow, nice and high. And we start to create the space and the length and the decompression through the spine. Ready to the archer. 1, 2, 3, 4, hip rotators. 5, good. And 6. So this is external rotation. This is opening the hips, but it's the function of closing the hips that really starts to make the difference in the hip function and the hip access to the glutes. All right, so now we're going to go into a reverse archer. Back to right leg in front of left. Float your back heel. Float your hands to the front. Okay, we've got right leg in front of left. We're going to go right thumb into left palm. And it's going to be the same rotation with the upper body. But now we're bringing that back hip in and across. And 1. First thing to move is going to be that hip coming in. And then the upper body intensifies it. 2, 3, stay really upright. Make sure you're not side bending. You'd be side bend this way. Don't do it. Like there's a string through the top of your head. 5, 4, 5, good. And 6. And you might feel even more tension through your belly as you go into that reverse archer. Okay, so I'll give you the side view, reverse archer. I don't know which one will be the better side, but I'm basically, yeah, that'll probably give it to us. Okay, so let's go left leg in front of right, float the hands to the height of the heart, left thumb into right palm. We're going to pull the right hip into the midline and left elbow nice and high. You should feel a lot of tension through that left hip. Okay, here we go, reverse archer. 1, try and keep your eyes nice and straight. 2, 3, 4, 1 more, and 5. Okay, so that is from the loaded position because you're standing. Now let's unload a little bit. We're going to lay on the back. We're going into supine. So we'll go face up, decompression breathing. Right here, we're going to set an anchor down low. Knees together, toes together, heels apart. Float your hands to the height of your heart. Drop your hands over your head and find as much space through your rib cage and your hips as you can. Don't worry about flattening your low back. I want your knees together, toes together, heels apart. From right here, in through your nose, out through your mouth 3 times. And 3. As you do that decompression breathing, you should feel tautness. You should feel tightness through your stomach. Okay? Your knees should be about 10 to 12 inches off the ground. So make that adjustment. Get your knees up just a little bit more. We're going to go right into the anchored bridge. So the anchor is the knees are together. The knees have to be together, guys. Okay, that's your anchor. Actively firing the inner thigh muscles, the adductor group. From right there, float the hands over the head. Let's go 3 big breaths. Find that tautness in the belly. On the 3rd exhale, take your hands all the way to the ground, fingertips to the ground, wrists off the ground, elbows off the ground. Right there, I want to push the heels into the ground. Push them hard. It's an isometric contraction. Push the heels. 10, 9, keep pushing. 7, 6, 5, 4. You're going to feel your hamstrings. 3, 2, and release. Float your hands back to the height of the heart. Push your hands over your head. Keep them off the ground, the hands about 6 inches. Set your anchor nice and strong. See if you can walk your shoulders even further away from your hips. Nice big breath. Inhale. As you exhale, float the hands back to the height of the hips onto the ground, fingertips on the ground. Keep the anchor strong. Push the heels into the ground and gently lift the hips up off the ground 1 inch. 2. 1 more big breath. And relax. Pull both knees into your chest. Now, I totally got hamstring cramps on that, which shows me that my pelvic position is a little bit off. I'm still hamstring dominant. If you've ever had a tendinopathy in your high hamstring, or you've got high hamstring dysfunction, that they're overworking because your glutes are underworking, when you do an anchored bridge like we just did, your hamstrings are going to light up and you're going to be getting a little bit of a cramp. We want to work that out. So we're going to work that out again. We want to do it again. Knees together, toes together, heels apart. Set your nice position, hands at the height of the heart. Float the hands over the head. Walk your shoulders away. You're going to feel tightness and skinny through your belly. Take a big inhale through your nose. Expand your rib cage. As you exhale, hands to the ground. Push your heels into the ground. Push your fingertips into the ground. 3 big breaths. Much better this time. One more big breath. And relax. Hopefully you had a little bit more success that time and didn't get a big hamstring cramp. I know I did. Okay, so let's get the mini band on a scale of 1 to 5. If you have 5 mini bands, we want one of the lighter 2. Okay, so get the lightest one or the second lightest one. And let's go just above the knees. So that exercise, the anchored bridge, activated glute adductors and hamstrings and glute max. All right. So let's go into this position, knees up just a little bit. Your heels should be at about the height of your butt. We're going to reach out in front. Okay. So we've got a little bit of a forward reach. We're just going to go into that nice clamshell. We're going to go 1 set of 10 each side, then move on. Fingertips to the ground. 1. Head in a nice strong position. Don't look down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good. On to the other side. Same thing. Up on your elbow here. You're going to reach your hand forward at chest height, heels together. 1, 2. This is the same routine or very similar to what both Rudy Von Berg, Paula Finley, Taylor Knibb will all do this week after racing. This isn't necessarily an easy session, but this is also a very good session that you might want to save for after a hard weekend, or you just want to get back to work. Again, it's Thursday, and I want to lead into a good weekend of training, but I also don't want to overdo it too soon. Okay, let's take that number 1 band down around the ankle. We've got the hips really rotating nicely. Just squat into a little bit of a defensive position. I'm still going to be a basketball player, so I think of that every single time. So butt to the back, and we're just going to step to the side and back. So we're back to working the adductor group as well as the glute med. We're going to go 1 set, and then we'll move on. We got 15 on each side, a little activation. 1 and back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really good posture. Keep that chest up. 8, 9, 10. I don't remember if I said 10 or 15, but I'm thinking we should go to 15. 12, 13, 14, and 15. So I can start to feel that around my SI joint, which I will always take that as a good thing, that my SI joint is hopefully gliding just a little bit. Okay, butt to the back. Posture's good. 1, 15 reps. Stepping the other way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, good. All right, let's take that same mini band, and I want you to just go down on 1 knee. We're going to work that same archer position using the mini band. Okay, so even from the half kneeling position, your hip can rotate as you pull on the mini band. Hands above the shoulder. You don't want to go too high, but you don't want to be down here. Okay, nice big position. We got 15. Activating the upper back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, good. Same thing other side. Nice big breath, great posture. Hand above the shoulder, but shoulders kind of drop the shoulder blades. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Set that tempo. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Good. Okay, so that's all we're going to do with the mini band. Let's put that bad boy away. Okay, next thing we want to do is just grab, this is really about shoulder blades. I'm going to grab some 5s, but I'm guessing that that's going to be a little bit heavy for me. So you either grab your full water bottles. I don't have those. So if you don't have them, grab your 5-pound plates, or your 2s or 3s are even going to be better. Okay, so we've got very light dumbbells or water bottles. You guys have seen me doing exercises before with water bottles. Okay, so we're going to go into this half kneeling position. Drop down so you're kind of into that TT position or your strong hip flexion position. Okay, so right there, even if you don't ride a bike, you need to be able to get in and out of that. So first thing we're going to do is just go 5 reps of just forward. 1, and back up. Forward, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Same thing other side. Nice big breath, hip flex. 1, this is a hip hinge. 2, 3, 4, one more, and 5. Okay, now coming at you, we're gonna go shoulder wise. So from right here, we're gonna go one set of 10 on each side. So we'll start in that half kneeling position, straight down, hands out in front. We're gonna go right there. So we're going into a shoulder Y. So watch from this angle really quick. Right there. So we're not a T, we're not going straight out. We're gonna go forward, thumbs up. Ready? Shoulder Y from the half kneeling position. We got 10 reps. 1, 2, 3. The weight of your arms is even enough. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Change sides. Give it a little bit of a moment. Let's take those dumbbells right to the 90-degree elbow position. We'll just open the door, a little external rotation. 2, use this as active recovery. 3, 4, 5. So just like hips rotate, shoulders need to rotate too. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, set that down, just rest for just a second. So we're gonna go shoulder Y into external rotation from a little bit more of an upright position, okay? Grab those light weights, thumbs up, head is in a nice strong position, spine is strong. Here we go, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Back up, right in the middle. We got 10, external rotation. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let's keep these lighter weights. If you did just do that with the weight of your arms, grab your 5s now. Guys, you can grab a 5 or a 7.5. All right, so we've been mobilizing, we've been activating. Now we're gonna add a little bit more mobility and some single leg challenge. So we're just gonna go lateral step to an overhead press. We got one set of 15 reps working on your balance as you come into that from that lateral position, okay? Lateral step, knee is nicely tucked under the shoulder to a single leg overhead press. We go 15, one set, 2, 3, hips to the back, push your hips to the back, 5, 6, 7, 8, keep that knee in, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, set those weights down, shake the arms out, shake the head out, and we're moving on. There's one thing about, I'm on this app now called Ask Any Question. And one of the questions was, do you live in the past? Do you fear the future? Or do you live in the future or in the moment? And I was really looking forward to racing at Lava Man, but that happened and now it's over. So now I have to live in the moment, recover, don't start too soon back to full training, and start thinking about the future and what's coming up and what I'm preparing for and how I'm living my life moment by moment, right? Because health is the precursor to a great performance, great health, okay? To the right, 15 times, same exercise. Land, knee stays in, back to that single leg overhead press, 15 reps, stay with me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, keep it up, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, let's put those little weights away. Feels good, everything's moving. I want you to grab, depending on where you are in your phase. So if you're coming into this strength session relatively well recovered and anticipating a session of climb, so please feel free to grab your number 3 dumbbells. I wouldn't go to 4 today. All right, so number 4 is 1 click heavier than 3. Let's get you to your number 3s. Those of you that are maybe in my situation where you're a little bit tired, you're still recovering, you traveled, take your number 2s, okay? Same movements, but just different intent. We can still train together, all right? So go ahead and grab 2 dumbbells. And the first thing we're gonna do is just work that hip hinge. So the first move is always to take a deep breath. We always want to create space. I've got a few new people, so I want to talk about space. The space between the ribs and the hips, that we can then have a nice flat back, push the hips behind your heels and bring your hips back. That's our hip hinge. We want that. That's how we protect the back, and that's how we get access to the glutes. All right. We're going to set an anchor. That means we square up the outsides of the feet so they're parallel, and the knees are working towards the midline. They're not rotated in and they're not squished together, but their intention is towards the midline. All right, nice big breath, drop to the knees, Romanian deadlift. 2, we got 1 set of 15. 3, even if you're not with your number 3 weights, if you need to stop that set a little bit early because it just gets too challenging or you lose form, feel free to do that. 6, push those hips back. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, good. That's your last set of those, 1 set to get it going. Now today, I'm going to use my nice flat board. My world down in my home gym is carpeted. Carpet creates an unstable surface, even if it's got a slight pad to it. So for this next few single leg exercises, I'm going to use my shelf. I think I found it out on the street. Okay, so I want to go single leg stance. We want to take that dumbbell and want to hang it. That means you're just grabbing the end of the dumbbell, okay? And you're hanging the dumbbell. Arms are relaxed. Single leg stance. We've got number 1, number 2, or number 3 dumbbell. And from right there, we're just going to go ahead, tip at the hip, come straight back up. 2, we're going to go 10 reps. 3, 4, 5, 6. Working the steering that through the foot. 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10. Okay, same thing other side. Nice big breath, press into the foot. 1, hamstrings and glutes. Definitely some calf working with that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keep that same dumbbell. Grab it nice and strong. Split stance. Left leg in front of right. Squat. And from right here, we're going to row. And from that position, you can see I'm showing you my chest there. So I'm rotating through my T-spine. Rotate. 2, 3, very still in the lower part of the body. 4, 5, we got 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now your trainer, which I am your trainer now, hopefully, but may say we don't want to rotate there, but I will tell you, if you like to run and you like to rotate and you like to have the most powerful position you can, then you will get strong in rotation. Okay, right leg in front of left, good posture. Squat just a little bit, rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this should be heavy. 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, take a little breather, shake that out. So that should have been your number 2 or your number 3 dumbbell. We've got one more round of that. Single leg, straight leg deadlift, immediately followed by our split stance, single arm row. Okay, so let's hang the dumbbell. Let's start with that left leg. Nice and strong posture. Stand on one foot. From right there, tip, 1. That was a horrible one, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Same thing other side. Right leg in front of left. Nice big posture. Oh, 1. Lot of brain work on a single leg exercise. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice strong grip. Right leg back, left leg forward. Squat. And single arm rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. Right leg in front of left. Nice big breath. Squat. 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure both knees are translating in towards the midline. 8, 9, and 10. All right, guys, there's your 45-minute strength session for the day. Accessible. What is accessible? Accessibility is having the energy to show up and keep the mobility, the strength work, the stability, the tissue care. A program is truly accessible if you are still doing it. And I think that I'm learning that the programming that we're putting together is accessible because people, the turnover with our ECFIT crew is really, really low. So I love that I have really gotten to know our group. I will continue to add to the group. And we know that we just want to keep getting stronger. Things need to be accessible. So Shannon Reed, we want to get these young athletes understanding that they're not being put upon by having to do this work. This is what keeps them healthy. That little bit of movement. I don't know, many of you guys have seen the finish of the race at Oceanside with Rudy and Lionel. I had the opportunity to work with Lionel a few years ago. I never really pursued it because I feel like, first of all, I'm a fan of Lionel Sanders, but I feel like he was so rigid in what he was doing. I didn't know that we would maybe come together in a really effective way. But I have been training Rudy von Berg for the last 2 years. And I will say that that little bit of rowing and that little bit of movement through his thoracic spine is something that we continue to work on, and we will continue to work on it. And when he was sprinting with Lionel, you could see he was sprinting like just being able to rotate and rotate and rotate and rotate and find the power in rotation in running. It was a beautiful finish. It was a wild finish. There's no finish line in Ironman. So I don't know, who knows? They're going to give it to Lionel for this one, but fueling the fire for the next one in Chattanooga. So hopefully you're not kidding, Corinne, when you really think about the rotation. This is very powerful because even if when I was in my TT position and I was getting hit with crosswinds on the Queen K, just a little bit of rotational force, even though I wasn't rotating, I could really grab the handlebars and produce more force through my lower body because my upper body could hold on tight and just go boom, 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 boom. And it's so deep within the spine. So it is some secret weapons for sure. Anyway, you guys are awesome. I always love feedback. So if you feel like giving me some feedback, I will be reaching out to you guys here in the next couple months for some feedback because you've been amazing. But anyway, I just very thankful for all of you. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget, Tiger Woods is playing the Masters. He just teed off. It's just a beautiful athletic story. Even if you're not a big golf fan, it's worth watching. Okay, guys, take care. See you soon. See you next week.